Good morning. Let's just hang out in the kitchen today. I'm trying to get in the habit of turning on the camera and just hanging out with you guys. And I was looking down to fix my rug because the cat always claims it and has to move it halfway across the kitchen. So I made some bagels, which I will insert right here. Alright, last thing I want to do before I get ready for the day is get this bagel dough going. So I have some of my sourdough discard. I'm just going to pour that into my bowl, probably about a cup, just for that sour flavor. This is not active sourdough at all. And then I have, where did I put it? My proofed yeast. Right here, this is just instant yeast. Again, if you want to know what I did, I will link that video below. And I'm just going to pour in half. No, this is not sourdough. It's not sour. That's why I added the discard. And my discard isn't super sour because I don't like super sour stuff. So 2.5 cups very, very warm water. I'm gonna mix this into the water. Grab a little bit of sugar and some salt. A little bit of sugar, and this is very bubbly and active, so I'm not going to have to wait for that proofing part because it's already ready to go. So I just put about a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, and I'm going to start adding my flour. Beat that egg up a little bit. Give them a black eye or two. All right. Now I have some whole wheat flour and some all-purpose flour. I'm going to do about half and half. And the recipe always says about 6 cups, but I just go, because I've made bread for so long, I don't really measure anymore. I just go till I know it looks and feels right. And when you've made bread for a while, you'll get to that point where you will know the look and feel you're going for. Alrighty. That was approximately 5 cups. 4 or 5 cups. Yeah, I think it was closer to 4. Just going to mix it till it's, I can't mix it with a spoon anymore, then I'm going to turn it out and mix it by hand. So that was approximately 6 cups of flour. You can measure whatever you like. A lot of times you start out measuring and being very precise, and then after you've done it for a really long time, you start to realize that you don't really need to do that anymore. You've figured it out just by your eye and your touch, and you just know. I'm sorry that the light keeps changing. For some reason, it's just getting darker and lighter in here, and I'm not sure exactly why the lights are doing that. But again, it's really, really cool, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. Just enough flour that I can knead it by hand without it sticking to me super bad. If you have a lot of dough on your fingers, the bread will stick to you more because the dough attracts the dough, so I like to flour my hands a little bit. And now I'm just going to start to knead it and get it so that I can work with it outside of the bowl. This is the first time in a long time I've used wheat flour. It's been really hard to get it locally, and we haven't really been in a position to order it in bulk. But once everything settles down from the move and stuff, I may do that. All right. Ooh, I hear that bacon snapping behind me, and it smells delicious. Okay. One thing I do remember about wheat flour is it takes a minute to absorb. So I'm going to just let this rest for a few minutes because I don't want to add too much flour and get a very stiff, tough bagel. I want to have a real good chew on them. So I'm gonna just let it rest and come back and finish kneading it. And the next time I see you, we will shake the dough. And that is my bacon. I know I left off saying that I would show you rolling them out and baking them off, but guess what? Life happened and it took all day to finish those bagels, and they are amazing bagels right here. And we're gonna go ahead and cut them, and my favorite way to keep bagels is to throw them in the freezer, and I usually make a large batch. This ended up becoming a double batch, which I didn't intend for, but really is handy because then I won't have to cook bagels for a while. I love to bake, but it is a lot of work. So just gonna cut them so that way when we pull them out of the freezer, it's not a big pain in the butt, right? You know, you pull them out, they're not cut, you have to thaw them halfway, cut them, thaw them the rest of the way, and get them nice and warm. So my daughter, my awesome youngest daughter, got me an air fryer for Christmas. I absolutely love it, but I've never had one. And so I want your best recipes for the air fryer. I really enjoy using it, and it's just the three of us, and she got us a good size one. It's the basket kind, not the like toaster oven kind. So any good recipes you have for an air fryer like that, drop them down below. And also, I love to use my slow cooker this time of year. I need some fresh ideas. Remember, we don't eat pork and we don't eat beef, so any chicken, turkey. I don't really like fish in the slow cooker, but any turkey or chicken recipes, I do cook with ground chicken ground turkey in place of ground beef. So you could send your ground beef recipes too, and I'll just substitute ground turkey. I would really, really love to know what you like to eat. And also, I just want to say I'm blown away and amazed by all the people that have shown up for me lately. And if you're new here, I'm Martha. This is my new kitchen, and I'm so glad you joined me today. And if you are new, you probably found me from the video talking about our move. And I'm really, really enjoying this house no matter how long we stay here. It's definitely been nice. It's different. It's huge. It's a lot of work. I forgot. I mean, actually, I don't think I've ever lived in a place quite this big. But I did forget what it's like to have a larger house and to maintain a larger house on your own. And it will be on my, well, not my own. My husband and our youngest does help, but you know how it is. Most of it falls with mom, and that is fine. That is the job I signed up for. Oh, and the flavors I made of these bagels are some garlic and herb, which is in my hand right now, and the ones without as much green have ranch powder on them, and I love them. Love, love, love. And then cheddar cheese. I don't know if I said that. My son, his favorite is the cheddar cheese. He does like the other flavors though. He's not a super picky eater. Alrighty. So today the sun is actually shining. It's absolutely beautiful but cold. And tomorrow it's gonna snow. I'm just not used to this. I grew up in Michigan, but I've lived in the South for, gosh, like the past 15 years. So it's been a long time, and we still live in the South. But we live in southern Kentucky, which you do get snow here sometimes, but it's usually not this cold for this long. We have pretty mild winters, but it's been a really cold stretch. Alrighty, I'm going to rebag these and freeze them and find the next project we're going to do. I think the next thing we're going to do is prep all these veggies because we're in pantry challenge, and that's the time when you go through your fridge and your freezers and your cupboards and you use up the things and you get everything ready. I found a bunch of carrots in the bottom of my crisper drawer. Some of them are starting to get pretty rough looking. I have some broccoli that's been in the fridge for 2 weeks. I have just all kinds of veggies. Oh, some celery and some cauliflower. So, and a half onion. So I'm just going to get all those things prepped and ready to use in bags in the fridge and freezer. Alrighty, let's get to prepping these carrots. Just going to peel them all, and then I'm going to put them through my handy dandy chopper. And I will link where I got this chopper from. It's definitely my favorite chopper I've ever had because of the size of the bowl. It's very, very large, and you don't have to empty it all the time when you're chopping. And it also comes, it's like a 3-in-1 type thing. So it's got like mandolin things, and it has another bowl and a salad spinner head. So it's a pretty cool little deal. And it's not sponsored. I just like it. Not sponsored at all. Alrighty. So where you are, is it cold? Or do you live somewhere where it's summer right now? For me, of course, it's winter. It's cold and it's gross, like I just talked about a little bit ago. It has been pretty to see the snow. It snowed all day yesterday, like all day. Like that never happens. I think I've only seen that like maybe 4 times since I've lived here in Kentucky. And I know that where we used to live in Texas is going to get smacked with ice and snow tomorrow. It's going to be rough because down there they have no infrastructure for snow, none. And so when it snows, like everything shuts down. And if you live out in the country and you don't have a plow, you could be stuck for a little until it melts. And I don't know with this cold snap if it's going to melt right away, or if you live down in Texas, like how many inches are you going to get where you live? Or down in other places like Georgia, I seen that Atlanta is going to get multiple inches of snow. Like that's nuts, because I know y'all down there don't get snow like that. I'm starting to peel the stem there. I don't really want the stem in my, well, I guess this is a garbage bowl, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Alrighty, well, I won't sit here and make you watch me peel all these. I'm going to peel them up, then we're going to cut them into pieces that'll fit onto the chopper blade, and then we're going to chop them up. And I'm going to do some in sticks and keep them in the fridge, and I might keep some diced in the fridge too, because we are making a ton of soups right now. Someone on my last video asked, what do I do with the peels? I make my own broth. So whenever I'm peeling onions, cutting celery, or peeling carrots, sometimes potato peels, any kind of peelings that I like the flavor of, I will throw them in the freezer, and the next time I make broth, I will use them. Now you do want to make sure there's no like mold or anything like that, or any big nasty spots, because you don't want to put that in your broth. But as long as they're clean, these peels are nice. They were getting soft, but they weren't moldy or anything like that. So I'm going to save those peels. Now I'm just going to go through and cut my carrots. Like this part here, like that part was starting to turn color. I didn't save the peel from that. I just threw that away, and I'm gonna throw this away. But any spots like the bottoms, there's nothing wrong with them. I just always cut them off. So I'm gonna throw those right into my scrap bowl, and that's gonna go for broth. Now I just like to cut them in like a couple inch pieces and cut them in half, and then just put them in my dicer. It's loud, so I won't make you listen to that part. I'm just gonna do a couple. Plus I've used this chopper in like so many videos. And the last video I used it in, my daughter's cat, my youngest daughter's cat was with us, and he was just innocently eating behind me, and I whacked that chopper. And I kid you not, that cat jumped way up in the air, knocked his food everywhere, spilled his water bowl, and gave me the dirtiest look and would not even come near me for 2 days. He's like, Grandma, what in the world you do? And yes, I call myself Grandma to my daughter's cats, but we only have one grandkid right now, and I can't wait until the day that that changes, but we love her to pieces. And if you see this, Savannah, Grandma loves you. Maybe Mama will show you my videos. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, finish chopping these, and spare your ears. I decided to use some of the vegetables that we cut up today, some of the broccoli, cauliflower, onions, and peppers, and then I decided not to use the cauliflower, but I'm going to make a chicken bacon ranch pizza. I have some pre-made crusts, and I just add a little olive oil and spread that around. Then I add some ranch seasoning on the crust. Then we're going to top it with some mozzarella cheese and some chicken from last night's leftovers. And I'm going to use my drum shredder, which I absolutely love for pizza. It's really, really easy to just shred the cheese right over the pizza. It makes it so much faster. I love it a lot. And I'm talking to my son there and on the side, and he's making his pizza, which he likes a little bit of a plainer pizza than my husband and myself. So he's just doing cheese and pepperoni and some of the delicious pizza sauce that we made over the summer with our garden fresh tomatoes. See how quick that makes topping the pizza with cheese? So much faster, so much faster. The only thing I wish it stuck to the counter better, but that's okay. And now we're gonna cut up that leftover chicken and top the pizzas with that, and it is going to be absolutely delicious. I really think this is one of my new favorite ways to, or flavors for our pizza. And my husband and I and my son, we like to do individual pizzas so that way we can have our own toppings. And one pizza usually will feed us for dinner and then for lunch the next day. I think having cooked chicken in the fridge really has been a game changer for me. I use it like when I do a chicken meal, I've been cooking twice as much as I will need for the one meal. And then I have some in the fridge, and I can very easily use it for a different meal the next day. Now I'm just going to chop up my broccoli nice and small so that way it cooks nice on the pizza, because it would be kind of gross to bite into some raw broccoli. And then I decided just to go ahead and cut up all that broccoli and put it in individual bags and put it into the freezer. 2 of them went in the freezer and 1 went into the fridge. Now I'm just adding some frozen onions. Or no, those are the onions I chopped earlier, not frozen. And this is where I decide, hey, I'm going to just chop up the rest of that broccoli and throw it into some bags. Might as well finish the vegetable prep. Now I've prepped almost all of the vegetables that I had in the house, because having prepped veggies in the house, it's just so much more convenient, and I notice that things go bad less when I do that, because I'm going to reach for that. It's going to be easy and convenient. And now I'm adding some peppers, some green peppers that we chopped earlier. And one thing, having that chopper makes my day go by so much faster. I had all the vegetables chopped in probably about an hour. And then I grab out some frozen mushrooms. Usually when we make pizza, we only use half a jar of mushrooms for my husband, so then we just freeze the rest for the next time. And I decided at the last minute to throw on some broccoli, or bacon. That is definitely not broccoli, that was bacon. And I'm going to top it with some ranch, and then I'm going to shake some Parmesan over the top of both of them. And then I decided to shake some Parmesan on my son's pizza as well. And then in the oven they go. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.